not another. Lively now, aren't you? You should have put that effort into running. It would have made the chase that much more thrilling.
Let me go! Let me go!
It would seem this little rabbit lacks the necessary fortitude. A pity. You'd shown a little grit and actually escaped, that purifying crystal would now be yours.
The crystal.
Who's this? Oh, now we have a new little rabbit to pursue. Let's see how fast this one is. Find her! Hunt her down!
I love how you never really get a good sense of how big the Duke is when you're playing the original game, like, in first person. But when you actually see him in a cutscene interacting with another, like, normal-sized human, you realize, this guy's big. Like, this guy is gigantic. I think that's crazy. That's one of the things that I really like about the third-person mode, is that now you can actually, like, properly see how big things are. Like, Lady D is even bigger in third person.
Seriously? Where am I gonna get a gun? What, like this?
I will say, a lot of the beginning of this, and I would say maybe even throughout all of it, feels like a tutorial, which is really weird. Because I don't think you'd be playing this if you didn't already play the main game. And it's not such a leap between first and third person that you would need a separate, like, set of tutorials just for this. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Where I might find the next rabbit.
This is definitely, though, when
They're
the game,
gone.
like, actually picks up, and I would say becomes fun.
This must be the crystal.
So, just like in the main game, we gotta collect a bunch of dumb masks. Bronze, silver, gold.
I guess I need to find these masks to unlock it.
I'm gonna try and get through this castle part as quick as I can, because I think it's my least favorite part. At least one of my... So yeah, there's a nice shotgun there that we can come back for. Some handgun bullets. Yeah, again, I don't really know what people were expecting out of this DLC. I would say it's exactly what I expected. Like, it's just like a nice little epilogue. It's a nice little bonus. Where you get to play as a new character, get to see their story a little bit. I will say shooting and moving feels way weirder in third person than it does. Because I feel like they slow you down like crazy. Like, look how slow I'm moving. Maybe that looks and feels a little bit faster in first person, which is why I never noticed it before. But, yeah, I don't know. Uh-oh. Hey, pal, why don't you let go? I don't really want you to hurt me there. Thank you. And you know what? As a nice little, like, hold me over for Resident Evil 4 Remake, I think this is fine. It's cool that we have something to play in the meantime. I mean, I guess there's also RE-verse, but I still have not touched that yet. And yes, this is how you know it's an RE engine game. You have to use the bolt cutters. If you don't use the bolt cutters, you're fired. Yeah, I'll touch RE-verse at some point. I liked Resistance. It's made by the same people. Looks like they put some more effort into it than originally thought, but not gonna touch it anytime soon.
You could back me up against those things. What? So I'm on my own? Great.
It's also such a weird little direction for Resident Evil. Like, it's kind of like Inception-ish. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think the DLC is cool. I don't think it's as good a finale to like a game as End of Zoe was. I would say in terms of like modern Resident Evil DLCs, I'd say it's like a little bit above Not a Hero, but slightly below End of Zoe, which I thought was really good.
Core. You mean that gross lumpy thing? How am I supposed to break it? My powers. I literally came here to get rid of them. Okay, fine, but how? What am I supposed to do? What's that?
Also, I like Rose. I don't think she's developed enough in this DLC, really. I'd like to see more of her, but again, I'm very terrified of the game just doing, like, just the series overall doing a 16-year time skip, and like Chris is like 60, Jill's in her 60s, like Leon's like a 50-year-old guy. Like, I don't know, I don't really want that. There's so much more to see. But I also probably would get used to it pretty quickly. Whoops, I wanted to read that. No, you know what? No, I don't. It's just more tutorial shit that we already know about. It really does. The third person really does. Like, just, it changes the game. No pun intended, but also yes pun intended. Hey, buddy. How you doing, pal? I didn't mean to do that. Okay, well, I'm about to die. There also doesn't seem to be an animation for the... Oh, no, never mind. There it is. Yeah, I'm just rushing through here. The first time I did this, I, like, spent so much, like, bullets and stuff on all of the enemies, which you really don't need to do at all. It's just a waste of ammunition.
No way I'm wading through that. Maybe I can find a way across.
And again, I think that the reused assets, first off, it makes sense. Like, it's fine. I'm not complaining about it. Because you're in the same locations as the main game. But I think they're different enough that you don't even really notice that you're here. Like, this is the room with the big painting of Lady D. It doesn't really look like it. Like, I think this is where you go get the sniper rifle, if I'm not mistaken. And they don't make you go through the whole castle. Like, you don't have to go to the upside of the castle. So I think it's nice, the way that they reuse stuff. And, like, of course they're gonna reuse stuff. Do people expect them to just, like, make a whole new game? Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? It's stupid. Isn't there a note there? Could have sworn there was a note there. But yeah, from what I can even understand is that they weren't even planning on making, like, this DLC. They were just gonna make Resident Evil 8 and then call it a day and then move on to the next thing. But then it sold like gangbusters, and everyone was like, "You're doing DLC, right?" And Capcom was like, "I mean, I guess." I have found a means of dramatically destabilizing parts of the Mutamycete network by introducing a disruptive force to block the auto-inducers they use for communication. For example, the hard-packed cores of mold known as sclerotia, that's how they pronounce it, sclerotia, begin to break down on a cellular level and disintegrate when thus disrupted. Sclerotia form when the mutamycete develops in new locations, serving as a sort of anchor point or foothold. They are often associated with a path of liquid void through which the mold has spread. When the auto-inducers of the sclerotia are disrupted, it begins to break down. Any liquid void connected to the sclerotia will also disintegrate. It would appear that destabilizing the sclerotia sends a signal indicating that location is no longer viable for a mutamycete habitation, triggering a full-scale retreat. Okay. They put a lot of thought into how the mold and shit works.
So, what am I supposed to do with this thing? Focus? Alright.
Her thumb is huge.
I feel different somehow.
So this is, again, I think this is pretty cool that they introduced like a brand new gameplay mechanic in this. So, focus here. What button do I press? There you go. Oh god, that fucking noise. It's the worst. It's the most stock sound effect ever made. Also, this looks great. I think this whole, like, they have a whole animation for how that all just disintegrates. I think it looks cool. And I think the game is nice. Gunpowder, nice. Should I make some? I guess I could. Can never have too many bullets on you. Here we go. Rose is about to break her legs. Wait, can't you just jump down this? Am I mistaken? Yeah, it's broken legs. Although I don't like how there's just like a big vein,
I can't get around it.
like on the screen at all times. Like, it's a little silly. Especially when this this takes no energy to do. You don't need that like little thing on the screen telling you. What was that? Oh. There's a dude trying to get in? Hey, buddy. Oh, I can't do that yet. Go away. Fuck off. Hey, pal. They get much closer to you than a lot of these other enemies do. Like, I feel like they're actually fairly decent. Which is why I'm saying, these dudes, they're the best goopy guys we've been given in modern Resident Evil. Since they love their goopy guys. And I wonder what it is. Like, is it just that hard to, like, design an enemy that feels, like, different and new? And that's why they all kind of look the same? Or is it just like, hey, Revelations was pretty well liked. Let's just do that again. Like, I don't know. Could be either, really. Another thing I'll say about this DLC is that, like, End of Zoe and Not a Hero had really cool bonuses for, like, if you finish them on, like, the highest difficulty under a certain amount of time. Like, you got the cool gauntlets that Joe gets at the end of Zoe. Like, you just get to use them permanently for, like, beating it on Madhouse and under a certain amount of time. There is something like that you could have done, I think, but they didn't, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Because there's one very specific thing that happens at the end of the game that would have been cool to play the entire DLC like that, but you can't. I don't think there are any unlockables in this, at least not from what I can see. Also, hey, guess what? The Mercenary still sucks in this game. It's still my least favorite thing It's so disappointing. And I was looking forward to, like, oh, I could play as Lady D and Heisenberg and all these new characters. But it's like, no, you still have to get, like, really good scores on all the old levels in order to unlock them. Sucks. It sucks. I'm never going to be good enough at this game's Mercenaries to unlock those characters. Because of the frustrating way that Mercenaries is designed in this particular version. I don't like it, thank you very much. But hey, it's pretty cool that Chris is in it and you can play as Chris now, right? That's neat. Where the hell is that one? How am I supposed to interact with that? I can't go this way, right? Yeah, a bunch of books in the way. Who's reading those? Am I just going in a circle? Oh, there it is. I don't know what this reminds me of. This reminds me of something. Like this mechanic, but I really don't know what it is. Hey, bud. Like, they're pretty creepy, seeing just their silhouettes and the fact that they kind of glow. They make creepy noises. I think these are the best goop guys we have ever been given. And I hope it's a good, like, indication of what the regenerators will look like in Resident Evil 4 Remake. Which, again, boy do I hope that they don't show those in a trailer. I want that to be a fresh experience. For new players and for returning players. Like, that would rule if they just didn't show them. Alright, off we go. Is there anything I can get rid of in here? Guess not. Now this, the first time this happened, it was unclear what was happening. Like, I guess I must have just not been looking at it correctly the very first time I played it. But it was not clear that a big man with a big hammer walks by the door. But it's kind of like the first time that I ever played Resident Evil 8. I didn't see Lady D in any of the parts of the castle that weren't that main foyer. Like, I got a bad experience the first time because Lady D didn't show up literally ever. Like, at all. Yeah, there it is. Monocular door deep in the basement. Well, thanks for the hint. Where's the core? There you are. Nice.
I finally got it.
Yeah, you did. Now let's go get some more items from our ghost friend, Michael.
Everything! None of this was supposed to happen. No. The reason I came here hasn't changed. I need that crystal. Thank you.
Eh, that's alright. I'd rather bullets, but that's okay. Thank you, Michael. Michael! So this, it almost feels like Metroid. I would say, like, these are the doors that you have to shoot missiles into. But it's not really designed like a Metroidvania, unfortunately. I think that would be kind of cool. But it's still a pretty short DLC. So they couldn't go hog wild with it. Which is why, again, I think I would like to see a full Rose game. Just see how that works. Yeah, the whole time I was up here, I was like, there's no way that you're not gonna run into Lady D like a ghost or an apparition or something. But you don't, you just straight up don't. Which I think it took immense restraint on their part when making this game. Alright, let me in. Come on, quickly, quickly. It's also funny, like, that big pinball thing isn't here. And I don't think I ever really noticed, like, this area behind it. But that was there the whole time. Like, it's just so funny, like, how different something can look when something you're not, or something you're used to is not there. I do not recall a single thing, not who I am nor how I came to be. I know nothing. My memories are as broken as the face I hide behind this mask. All that remains is this feeling, this hunger, to see others in pain, the despair in their eyes, the sound of their screams. Who will be my next quarry? I have my minion to do my bidding. He has many faces, but no brains within those skulls. He is my best hound, and he will chase those rabbits down. Was that supposed to rhyme, Duke? No, there's nothing I can do with that. I need that key. Need that key, baby.